Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Supernatural, episode 1406, titled Optimism, which premiered Thursday, November 15th, 2018 on the CW. I'm recording pretty much less than 3 hours after the episode is aired, so huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first, then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other video reminders are up on screen, so take a moment to remind yourselves of those. I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes, so let's just start the clock and let's begin with what happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, I'm not really sure how long it's been since the previous episode. It doesn't really state any period of time, but I'm assuming it's enough time for Dean to need to go and check on Mary and Bobby, who are still at Donna's cabin. If it was like a day or two after the previous episode, I don't think Dean would actually make the trip to go check. So that's my assumption there. Huge episode reminder, though, is the fact that we actually get 2 separate hunts this episode being featured, which I don't think has happened. Usually if it's something like that, the second one is usually tying in with the bigger storyline or it's a side plot, while the main one was tied into the major story arc. So that was something. So with that said, the episode breakdown for this one is just 2 of them, which is both separate focuses on their cases, one being Jack taking Dean on a hunt and the second one being Sam helping Charlie out on a hunt. So with the first storyline, Jack and Dean end up taking on a necromancer named Harper, who brought back her ex-boyfriend through necromancy and kind of turned him into a zombie. His name's Vance, and she actually killed him to do it because he wanted to leave town and explore the world. So zombies we dealt with in episode 204, I believe. And in order to stop a zombie, or this type of zombie, I guess you could say, is you have to drive them back to their grave, and you have to stake them in the heart with a silver stake. So that's pretty much pinning them back to the grave and then burying them back up. However, after all this, Harper actually escapes, and she now has her eyes set on Jack, and she knows that he's from Lebanon. So she's sending him these love notes and how she wants to repeat what she did with Vance to Jack. She wants to kill Jack and then bring him back with her necromancy so that they could be together. So that's pretty disturbing. But there's that. With the second storyline, though, we get a stakeout happening outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and this gets Sam and Charlie hunting down a Muska, which is a human-fly hybrid, and we actually see a community of these hybrids collecting the one that Sam and Charlie had killed, who had gone rogue after he couldn't find his mate, if I understand correctly. Also, throughout this hunt, we get the debate on whether or not Charlie is going to leave the hunting business, because she claims that this hunt was going to be her last, but Sam kind of has her rethinking things so that she's not like leaving the people she knows behind and stuff. But anyways, the last scene of the episode shows Jack coughing, bleeding, and collapsing all in front of Dean when they're back at the bunker after a hunt well done. So there's that. But before that, though, everybody just thought that Jack was coughing and experiencing the human joys of being sick, which sucks because I have a cough again too. So there's that. But moving on to Tidbits, though, this is actually the second season when Sam and Dean are not on screen together. I think the first was in the 1401. So that's actually a surprise thing, I think, if I counted correctly. Because usually as the leads, they are always at least in one scene together. So that was something. I mean, the only contact we really get is a phone call between the two of them, but we don't actually hear both sides of the phone call. We just hear the tail end of Sam's phone call with Dean, and that's it. So yeah, we don't actually see them interacting face to face with each other or through an actual phone call where we hear both sides. So there's that. Also, we find out that Charlie had found the love of her life in a baker named Kara, and this was done before the apocalypse, and she unfortunately died during the apocalypse. We also find out just how the apocalypse came to be, with Charlie kind of going into detail with Sam, and the first thing that went was technology. But we did find out that Charlie still worked at Richard Roman Enterprises as a programmer, and so that was something there. We also find out that while Charlie found her love in Kara, the Charlie we've known for 3 years didn't get that chance. So there's that. Also, this episode, there is no Castiel, there's no Bobby, and there's no Mary, but they are mentioned as being on a way on another hunt for Castiel, or still recovering back at the cabin for Mary and Bobby. So anyways, end tally or death tally. Winston and Miles, they are killed as victims of Harper's jealous zombie, Vance. We get zombie Vance being staked back into his grave by Dean and Jack. This is done off screen. Also, the Muska is shot by Sam, assumed to be dead, but he's not killed with the way the lore states they need to be killed. And if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be a brass nail dipped in honey. Check on screen if I have that correct or not. So there's that. That's another improvised kill that the Winchesters have done. The previous one was Dean and the Genie, or Dean and the Gin, I should say. So there's that. Moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode, I will have to say that seeing the Muskas of fly face in detail, it threw me off, and it was so disgusting. I mean, I had the impression that that's what was under the beehive mask or beehive hat thingy, but I didn't expect to actually see it in person, and it's just like, oh my god, it reminded me of that movie, The Fly, and I was so creeped out by it when I had to watch it for school, and it just really reminded me of that. It's like, today was a whole bug villain day. I mean, we got the arachnid on Legacies after Supernatural aired, and then with Supernatural, we got this fly, half human fly thing. It's just, just not a good day if you don't like bugs. So we'll leave it at that. But top 3 favorite moments, it's really only 2 in general, and that's really just seeing more of the dynamic between Dean and Jack, and then the second one being seeing more of the dynamic between Sam and Charlie, or Sam and this Charlie, and then more so because we're getting constant comparisons between the 2 Charlies. So that's pretty much it for my favorites. I mean, with Dean and Jack, it was just great to see how they're working together, how Dean was able to teach Jack certain things, and then how Jack was able to show what he knows. And it was just so cute when he tried to do all the tests, tried to test her for being a demon, for being a shifter, for being anything else that affects by Silver, a ghoul, a shapeshifter, all that. And the way he was doing it was just so cute. And then also all the questions he had with Dean, and how Dean was trying to teach him while also trying to keep him safe. That was great to see. And then with Sam and Charlie, it was just interesting to see how Sam was trying to keep her as a hunter by bringing up his not only his past and trying to escape hunting, but always being pulled back in. And then also his Charlie's experiences of doing the same thing as well, and just drawing comparisons that way. It was just, overall, this episode for the 2 was more focusing on the 2 different relationships you get with the 2 sets of characters, which is why they're pretty much my main favorites. So there's that. Moving on to top 3 peeved moments, I didn't like the fact that I didn't get to hear Dean give Jack the talk. I mean, he said that he would, and yet I didn't get it, so I'm a little disappointed by that. Another thing I guess I could say I was disappointed was just the, I guess, Harper, in a sense, like her dynamic. And it was because of the dynamic she had, which is all chipper and happy and like happy-go-lucky type thing. And then it was very surprising when it turned out she was fully aware of these killings, and she was actually behind all these killings. So it's just like, wow. But I should have said that as most shocking, to be honest now. But anyways, moving on to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode. Probably the fact that Charlie's in the episode would be a huge one. The fact that we got Dean teaming up with Jack. It's just the 2 of them, which is awesome. Great bonding time for them. But I'll leave it at that. But random questions very quickly. What if Charlie found our version of Kara? Would that be a reason for her to leave hunting, or maybe to stay into hunting, depending on what Kara does on our Earth? Honestly, when she first said Kara, I immediately thought Kara Danvers for Supergirl, and I thought, ooh, the possibilities here. But anyways, I'll leave it at that. But the last question I had was that if Charlie doesn't want to hunt anymore, why not have her like run the head office of the bunker? Why not have her do it so that Sam can have a bit of a break. And she could just like coordinate hunts and have people check in with her and do her programming stuff like in that type of capacity. At least then she's not in the front lines as a hunter, but she could still kind of help out in that way. So there's an option there, an option question, I guess you could say. But moving on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 1407, it shows that the episode is not going to return until November 29th, which makes sense because the 22nd is the American Thanksgiving. So they're going to have a week off. And there's my timer. I was close. So I'll give myself that. But anyways, the promo shows that Jack wants to live his life to the fullest if it's going to end. And he asked Dean to go with him to Vegas. Meanwhile, Sam and Cass rush to find a way to save Jack from what ails him. So there's that. Based on the synopsis for the episode, it reads that Sam and Castiel track down a shaman who may be able to help a friend. Nick returns, continues to spiral down a dark path as he looks for answers surrounding the deaths of his wife and son, and Jack turns to Dean for help enjoying the human experience. And he's going to go to Vegas to do that. Oh my god. I really can't wait to see that part. I want to see... also, the promo did show Jack driving the Impala with Dean sitting shotgun. So I can't wait for that driving lesson. I can't wait for Dean to show Jack how to gamble, how to talk to girls, how to just behave in Vegas. Because we always hear about the many trips the Winchesters have gone to Vegas for, but I want to see them actually do it. And then to see Jack trying to learn all that would be fantastic. Also, the shaman definitely has to be called in to find a way to help Jack for sure. But also, I still believe that Nick is the one that killed his family. And then, like, maybe kind of orchestrated by Lucifer. Because, you know, like how, like, Sam's girlfriend, Jessica, had died by the hands of a demon, even though he didn't know it was a demon at the time. But it was all orchestrated by the demons who were working for Lucifer to get Sam down that path into hunting again. So I'm wondering if it's something similar for like that with Nick. Or maybe Nick just really had a darker tendencies before Lucifer took possession of him. And maybe that's why Lucifer gravitated towards him when he was released. But I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, and predictions about all that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. Go check that out. A little behind. I'm working on that, though, so keep that in mind. Also, WordPress account link for that is attached down below. Everything I post online is connected to WordPress. It's a work in progress, but it's more detailed, more organized, so keep that in mind. Also, live journal entry link is down below, or it will be attached soon. But pretty much that's a jot-noted recap of the episode as I watch it for the first time with my in-moment thoughts, questions, all that. It helps me keep things in line, in order, in case I have to go back for it for memory's sake. But it helps you out. Fantastic. I've been doing it since season 6. It's going to become a habit now. But yeah, check that out as well. But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back next time to see what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, a great week wherever you are. I'm going to go to bed because it's now midnight. Take care, guys. Bye.